system.
It's a piece of cake.
We're set for the second half kickoff. Fred Stein for the Denver Broncos will be kicking. Malcolm Barnwell and Chester Willis are the deep backs on the return. Broncos won the first half 7-0. Here's the rookie Chester Willis. A good return for Willis, and we will now look at the statistics of the first half.
I think you can say it's 2-1 almost, isn't it, Charlie? Taking a look at the statistics, time 1940 for Broncos, 10-20. Most of it's 2-1 Denver over the Raiders. And you look at the one statistic, turnovers, 1 for the Raiders, and that cost them because they were going in for a score.
So let's see what Oakland can get going from their own 27-yard line. First down. And they start out on the ground as Kenny King gets the call. The Raiders going with the same set that they started of Plunkett, King, and Jensen in the backfield.
You're looking at Randy Gradishar, the linebacker, who's an outstanding linebacker, and number 63 is Gene Upshaw getting to his body, and when that happens and drive a man back, you're going to pick up some yardage, and that's what happened on that play. 5-yard gain.
Bradshaw and Branch, the wide receivers. Second down and 4. Kenny King, first down, 41-yard line, and then ridden out of bounds at that point by Larry Evans. He took up 8 yards on the play, and we have some pushing and shoving in front of the Raider bench. As a few words are exchanged in this heated battle between rivalries in the Western Division.
This is hot. 53, Randy Gradishar. This is a draw play, and once again, back coming in, Jensen getting a good block. Enough that he can get just a hand on the ball carry. He breaks that. Now he's going to get as much as he can going out of bounds. Larry Evans making the tackle. When you cause a disturbance, you don't want to cause it at the other team's bench.
That's the wrong side of the field.
You're outnumbered.
And remember that Denver has not won in Oakland since 1978, 3 long years ago. First down. Jensen. And Derrick spins to the 47-yard line. A gain of 6, second and 4. So the Raiders come out with fire in their eye in the second half.
I think I know what Tom Flores told that football team in the locker room. Last week they had, I think, 132 yards in total offense, 65 or 45 yards passing. He's saying we're the pride and boys here, and our football is straight ahead. It's a physical game, and we are not being physical. If you're going to win, you're going to have to go out and control the line of scrimmage.
Second down, 4. Kenny King. May have lost the football for a moment and then regained it. Ronnie Chavis was there for Denver. Could well be a first down. They'll mark it at the 48-yard line of Denver. It is a first down. Jim Tunney takes the eye measurement and moves the chain.
Kenny King going in to the line of scrimmage. The ball does pop loose. There it is floating around. Fortunately for Oakland and Kenny King, you remember he fumbled once before in the first half that cost him some points, or could have cost him some points. They were fortunate at that time the ball bounced the right way.
At the Denver 48-yard line, first down. On the draw. King fumble. And Denver will have the football. Chavis and Gradishar were there. Reuben Jones ended up spiking. He forced the fumble. That is the second turnover that the Broncos have an opportunity to capitalize on. We'll be back in a moment.
Okay, Eunice, travel plans. I need to be in New York on Monday, LA on Tuesday, New York on Wednesday, LA on Thursday, New York on Friday. Got it? Got it. So you want to work here. What really makes you think you deserve a job here?
Well, sir, I think I might fit. I'm good at figures and I have a sharp mind.
Excellent. Can you start on Monday?
Yes, sir, absolutely, without hesitation.
Congratulations. Welcome aboard. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And in conclusion, Jim, Bill, Bob, call Fred, Load, Dork, Abe, and Ted. Business is business, and as we all know, in order to get something done, you got to do something. In order to do something, we got to get to work, so let's get to work. Thank you for taking me. Petey, you did a bang-up job. I'm putting you in charge of Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's perfect.
I know it's perfect, Peter. That's why I picked Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's perfect. Peter, may I call you Pete?
Call me Pete.
Pete.
There's a Mr. Schnittler here to see you.
Tell him to wait 15 seconds.
Can you wait 15 seconds?
I'll wait 15 seconds.
Congratulations on your deal in Denver, Dave. I'm putting you down to deal with Dallas. Don, is it a deal? Do we have a deal? It's a deal. I got to go. I got a call coming in. it. Hi, Doc. Just tell it down.
In this fast-moving, high-pressure, get-it-done-yesterday world, aren't you glad there's one company that can keep up with it all?
You got a deal. Good. I'm putting you down to deal with Dick. Dick, what's the deal with the deal? Are we dealing? We're dealing. Dave, it's a deal with Don, Doc, and Dick. Doc, it's a deal with Dave, Dick, and Dave. Don, it's a Doc with Dick, Dave, and Dick. Gotta go, Dave. Disconnecting. Gotta go, Dick. Disconnecting. Gotta go, Dan. Disconnecting.
Federal Express. When it absolutely, positively has to be there overnight.
How about that? Don't miss all the explosive action of the National League Divisional Playoffs starting Tuesday night on the home of great baseball, NBC Sports.
It was number 79, Barney Chavis, who recovered the fumble, and the Broncos have the ball at their own 45-yard line. And very quickly, Dave Preston goes to work again. He has been the leading ball carrier of the ball game. Burgess Owens makes a tackle. Glad to see him back in, playing with a hyperextended knee that he injured in the first half. They'll mark it at the 48-yard line. Oakland territory, gain of 7. Second down and 3. Tony Reed in the backfield as Preston comes out for the Broncos. Tony Reed in trouble, and he will lose a couple of yards. John Matuzak is the man who got him. It will be 3rd down and 5.
Big John finally made the tackle, but it was number 83, Ted Hendricks, that was about 4 yards deep in the backfield, got a big arm on Tony Reed, made him stop and change his direction. It's when penetration. When you get penetration and disrupt the course of the back, most of the time the defense is going to come out on top.
So it is 3rd down and 5, and Craig Morton will be throwing. Preston, the remaining back. Egloff and Odoms in the ball game. Moses and Watson are in as receivers. Pass is high, incomplete to Steve Watson. Has Watson been shut out, or does he have one reception?
I believe he has a reception, but
He has one.
that one I think he could have caught.
It was
It'd go through his hands. He caught one for 11 yards. There it is, number 81 is Steve Watson. Lester Hayes is the man who's guarding him, playing the bump and run tactic right there. Oh, yes. Yes. He should have had that in his hands and headed toward a 1st down.
All right, Luke Prestridge will be kicking, and Ira Matthews is set for the return. We're just over 3.5 minutes into the second half. Good kick. Fair catch is called for. And taken and then fumble. Denver has the football. Glenn Hyde comes out with the football. Hyde is the center. He is in to snap.
Taking a look right through his arms. The ball is popping loose. 49 is Dennis Smith, their rookie.
But 65, Glenn Hyde.
Glenn Hyde saw that ball on the ground, and another big break for the Denver Broncos.
That is the 3rd turnover. So Denver is at the Oakland 8-yard line. 1st down and goal to go. Paris gets the call and has just a couple of yards to the 6, where it'll be 2nd down and goal to go. Matuzak was there along with Johnny Robinson for the defense.
Oakland, they've been digging themselves a hole. This should remind the Oakland fans of last week against Detroit when they fumbled the ball on about the 4-yard line and Detroit went in to score. They've been coughing that ball up today. That's the 3rd turnover. And it could have been 4 had the ball not bounced correctly for Oakland, and Kenny King was able to recover his own fumble.
Morton to throw. Almost pulled out, throw, knocked away. He was going to Riley Odoms in the end zone. Had double coverage on him. Flag is down back at the 13 as Morton was throwing as he was being pulled down. It is against the Broncos for holding.
I believe number 53, Rod Martin, was complaining, saying that he had Morton because he had him by the shirt. Said that's the situation when he felt that he had possession of Morton. Take a look at
holding 24, 10 yards, still second down.
Holding on Barrows, he had possession of his shirt tail is what he had possession of. So the 10-yard penalty takes it out to the 16. And it's still second down goal.
Coach Dan Reeves is saying don't throw into the crowd like that anymore. Morton threw into to an area where there were 2 Oakland Raider defensive players.
Sweep right side, Preston. About the 13-yard line. So it's third down and goal to go. Rod Martin was there for the defense. Willie Jones was also there.
Rick Upchurch coming into the ball game. Running back out, that means that they'll have at least 2 wide receivers. Only 1 back remaining.
Could be a timed throw to Upchurch in the far left-hand corner of the end zone.
Well, they got 3 wide receivers.
Drilled over the middle and behind Steve Watson, but Morton did have a lot of pressure. And now a slugfest has broken loose. Howard Long popping one of the Bronco defenders, and 2 flags are down, and now the pushing and shoving continues. Tom Glassig stepping into the middle of the fray.
You know, if they take a swing and hit him in the head, they're going to hit a face mask, and all they're going to do is damage their hand.
So the officials sorting it out. 2 flags were dropped.
This game is really important. I was talking to Mark Van Egan on the sidelines. He's in before the game. He's in street clothes, and he said he was pumped up for the game because of the importance of the game.
Offsetting, personal fouls. Number 62, offense. Number 75, defense. The play is 4th down.
It is a dead ball foul. That is after the play was over. That's the reason it's 4th down. But I'm also surprised that when you see that kind of a situation, it could well call for an ejection, and that's what the Broncos are saying, is that Howard Long should have been ejected.
When you start flailing away out there, you're taking a very big risk that is going to happen.
So it is 4th down and goal to go. So Steinfort is in with a field goal attempt. He's hit only 2 of 9. He hit 1 of 6 in the first game against Oakland. This is from the 21, an attempt of 31 yards. It is good from 31 yards away, so Steinfort is now 3 of 10 on the year. And the Denver Broncos have stretched their margin. They're out in front by a score of 10-0. We'll be back with a kickoff.
New Backwoods Smokes just hit town. Looking wild, but tasting mild.
New Backwoods Smokes. How can anything that looks so wild taste so mild? New Backwoods Smokes. How can anything that looks so wild taste so mild?
New Backwoods Smokes. All natural tobacco, hand-rolled look in a keep 'em fresh pocket pouch.
How can anything that looks so wild taste so mild?
The new generation of Dodge Rams made an X-Ford owner out of me, and now Dodge has come up with this new Ram Miser. Beautiful inside and out. And Ram Miser gives Dodge the biggest increase in gasoline mileage of all full-size pickups. Take it from an X-Ford owner. Nobody gives you so much for so little. Hard to believe it's America's lowest priced pickup. Equipped, not stripped.
Dodge trucks are ramped up.
Next Sunday, join host Brian Gumbel for NFL 81. All the highlight scores and late-breaking news from all the games and regional NFL action featuring 2 long-term rivalries as the Browns meet the Steelers and the Raiders take on the Chiefs in Kansas City. So check your local listings for the game and time in your area. That's next Sunday on NFL 81. Steinfort is kicking off. Chester Willis, he fumbles the ball and then covers it himself. So the Oakland Raiders have dropitis.
I'll say they do, and he wasn't looking into the sun. If he'd have been on the opposite end of the field, I can see he might have a reason for it, but the sun is not in his eyes. When it happens, when things start going wrong, you start to expect things to go wrong, and they have a way of going wrong. They've been coughing up that football. That is the 5th time that they've coughed it up so far today. And they lost 3 of them. What it does, it puts them in a position where they've got a long, long way to go. They've got, what, 92 yards to go for a score.
Right. So Oakland from their own 8-yard line, first down. Trailing 10-0. Kenny King gets the call. Reuben Carter was there. He's also trying to strip the ball again. You know, if you got a hot hand going, you just keep doing it.
Well, what the ball carriers are going to be concerned about, too, is holding on to the football and not running, so they're not going to run as well. But you can't afford to give it up again down in this territory.
2nd down and 8 from the 10-yard line. Derek Ramsey's the tight end. Kenny King. He is close to the first down, but Kenny may be a yard shy. Randy Gradishire was there for the defense. Billy Thompson was also there. So it'll be 3rd down and 1 after a pickup of 7.
And I'm sure what Oakland will, they'll go in with a couple of tight ends.
We mentioned earlier that Reggie Kinlaw, Bob Nelson, Mike Davis, Bob Chandler, and Mark Van Egan, 5 Super Bowl 15 starters out of the ballgame. There you see Chandler and Van Egan on the sideline.
Chandler with the glasses on, and Bob told me that in a couple of weeks he should be in uniform and at least able to hold.
3rd down and 1, and it'll be close, but I believe they got it as Kenny King gets the call. And if you notice that time when he came into the line of scrimmage, he had that ball really tucked away. Perry Smith in the secondary made the tackle. It's a first down. You know, something that's interesting, Jim Tunney is known as one of the best, if not the best referee in the National Football League. One thing you can tell when he works a ball game, he keeps the game moving. He doesn't hold a lot of conferences, and he checks the first down, and if it's there, it's moved and gone, and he keeps play going, and I like that.
He does not leave room for discussion.
No, he doesn't. That's right.
Play pass.
Going deep to Blanche, and he's overthrown, almost intercepted by Perry Smith. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
I believe that's the first pass that they've thrown deep in the football game.
Yes.
Wasn't completed. But what that's going to do is it's telling Perry Smith, the defensive cornerback, that they're going to get this ball out to number 21 if they can possibly do it, so that you better play off of him a little bit. And that will give him more room to operate in front of that defensive back. It's a game. You don't complete every pass, but there should be a purpose behind every pass.
Line of scrimmage, the 19-yard line, 2nd down and 10. Raiders in their own territory. Plunkett has pressure. Pass is complete to Derek Ramsey.
Biggest pass complete to Derek Ramsey.
Larry Evans makes the tackle. A gain of 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
You get a little jittery when you've been sacked several times, and here's Plunkett. He gets moving because he sees the linebacker in front of him, gets the ball out to his tight end, and it's played real well by that Denver linebacking corps. 56, Larry Evans involved in the tackle. Still a passing situation for Plunkett.
Plunkett scrambling, drops it off, barely got it away. Kenny King picks up the first down, and he comes to a bouncing stop.
Very good play by Plunkett, dumping that ball off to Kenny King, who's got that exceptional speed, just enough to to get the first down. He didn't want to throw the ball to Kenny King. He wanted to get the ball out to the speedster, number 21. That would be Cliff Branch. Cliff says, I'm wide open out here, but there was a lot of pressure on number 16. You can see the Broncos coming. The linebacker was coming after him. That's number 51 was Swinson. Bob Swinson was zeroing in on it.
It's a first down at the 33. Play action. He was looking for help again, and he threw it a little too hard for being that close to Kenny King, as Latimer and Jones were breathing down the neck of Jim Plunkett.
He's trying to drop it off, but he's trying to drop it off.
You know, as great as that offensive line for the Raiders has been over the years, they are not having the kind of year that you would expect from them.
No, they're not. You know, they keep looking for reasons of why things aren't going well. Well, it all starts with the offensive line. You know, if they do the job, and the job, they've done such a tremendous job over the years that people begin to expect it.
That's right.
They're not doing the job this year that they did in the past.
Plunkett has to scramble from the pressure. And there is a prime example. In the past, that offensive line would give you 7 to 9 seconds to throw. Tom Jackson with the tackle.
Taking a look at what's going on downfield. Branch, Thompson all over him. No room at all. Look at excellent coverage by Billy Thompson. And the reason he can't get it down there, 72 Latimer coming in, and Plunkett just doesn't have the time to get back there and get set and to take a look at what's going on downfield and see how the defense is reacting in the secondary. He's got to move.
Now, there is one other thing to give the other side of the story of the offensive line, is that Plunkett does take a lot of time to set up. Now we have encroachment. Don Latimer across the neutral zone making contact.
Notice the fingers being pointed on both sides.
Boy, there's a lot of finger pointing in this ball game.
Defense.
But as you said, Mr. Referee Jim Tunney, he makes the final decision.
Oh, yeah.
He's coming over now to see if
he's checking with the chain.
First down?
That's right. Well, it's 3rd down and 5, and you know, and it could be 5.5, but it was 3rd down and 5, and that's it. And he moves, and the chains move, and here we go, and the game keeps
moving.
He
said.
I like that.
Says I've got a plane to catch.
How did you call the game? He said it's time to make the 5 o'clock flight. Yes.
Defense, 5 yards. It's a first down.
That's the way a man should take over.
That's right. You liked that when you played it.
I did, because there's so much emotion going on down there. We saw it just a little while ago. You cannot let that get out of control.
From the 43-yard line, first down. Plunkett holds both backs in the block. Pass is complete on the far side. And it's the number 81, Morris Bradshaw, as Lewis Wright makes the tackle. And he has a first down.
That was a good move by Bradshaw. He got Lewis Wright turned around. Plunkett getting back, set, fires the ball. Didn't take too much time. And you can see right there, Lewis Wright is stumbling. Number 20's wide open. Number 81, Bradshaw, picking up first down for the Oakland Raiders. Plus the fact it's good for Oakland because they're away from that dirt, away from the infield where you can slip a great deal.
At the Denver 42-yard line. Kenny King has a couple. To the 40, so it'll be 2nd down and 8. Don Latimer making the tackle along with Bryson Manor. I love that name. I think Bryson Manor is the greatest name in the NFL. It sounds like a condominium playing defensive right end. Hi, where do you live? I live at Bryson Manor, you know.
As a quarterback, you don't want to live with Bryson Manor, but that's who he wants to get a hold of out there.
Arthur Whittington is now in the backfield for the Raiders. 2nd down and 8. Plunkett should be throwing. Both backs in the block, then he swings one out. And it is intercepted. Billy Thompson picks off the pass. 3 fumble recoveries and an interception, 4 turnovers. And it was Arthur Whittington who was the intended receiver. We've got a timeout. We'll be back in a moment.
Behind every Schlitz is a man who knows his beer.
The people in St. Louis know their beer, but as a master brewer...
Schlitzer.
Thank you. I know one taste of my Schlitz can change a lot of minds, and now more people know.
I like Schlitz better than Bud.
I'm a Miller drinker, but you have to taste Schlitz to believe it.
Mr. Sillinger, your Schlitz tastes good. It's a good tasting beer.
Here's to it.
Behind every Schlitz is a man who knows his beer.
Touch. Now Canon gives it a new meaning with the One Touch, the Canon NP120 copier. There isn't even a power switch. Just touch and copying begins instantly. You get 12 copies a minute on plain paper without wasted time or energy. The low-cost Canon NP120, the One Touch. Turning it off is even simpler. No touch. Call toll-free for information or contact your Canon dealer.
Next Saturday, don't miss the exciting return of NBC Sports World, featuring hard-hitting World Championship boxing. Then, 1 week later, the world's finest Grand Prix drivers gather in the heart of Las Vegas for live coverage of the Caesars Palace Grand Prix, starting next Saturday on NBC.
Here's the interception. Notice that number 22, Arthur Whittington, never turned his head around. So the only one that had a chance of intercepting or catching it was 36, Billy Thompson.
And the Broncos have the ball on their own 26-yard line. 3:58 left to go. Third quarter. Denver leads 10-0. Dave Preston.
Dave Preston, the ball carrier.
Preston to the 31. So he'll pick up 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 as John Matuzak was there.
Denver is moving Oakland because you notice the tackling is a lot of grabbing. It's not that real crisp hitting that you want defensively. They're grabbing, and that back is strong, so he's carrying it, and he's picking up 4 and 5 yards.
Rick Upchurch has come in. I think the Bronco offensive line has been vastly underrated. They have been the main key this year, the protection for Morton, and now the driving blocks for the running game. Preston.
That's Dave Preston. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
And the offensive line simply did not do the job that time as they lost a yard.
Well, the Oakland Raiders had the blitz coming. They had linebackers coming after the ball carrier. They're trying getting penetration.
Loss of a yard. Otis McKinney, the strong safety for the Raiders, was the main man.
Now the Oakland Raiders bringing in their pass rushing team, which would include number 86, Cedric Hartman.
Haven Moses.
Haven Moses has the key catch, and a flag is dropped.
Bueno Steen makes the stop.
That flag is dropped there, and the only Bronco was Haven Moses, so that's got to go against Oakland.
Personal foul. Osteen made the tackle. A gain of 19, and they'll tack it on to the end of the play. So it was 3rd down and 6, and it ends up a big gainer for the Denver Broncos.
Oakland's been putting themselves in a hole. You can see right there that it's the arm up around outside the head.
Unnecessary roughness. First down.
He made the tackle. When he made the tackle, he hit him up around the head with his arm.
And that's illegal. That's a rule book call. When you swing that arm, it's got to be below the neck. So now the Broncos are at the Oakland 36, and they have a first down. Rick Peros. Johnny Robinson.
There's flaring out there.
Oh, they'd like to sneak a microphone in the middle of that little jewel.
They are hot, both sides. This game is so very important for both teams.
A Denver win, the record would be 4-1, and Oakland win, the record would be 3-2. Gain of a couple. 2nd down and 8. The closest mic belongs to referee Jim Tunney.
He's talking to those players out there and say, hey, let's get back.
Yes.
Let's get back to playing football.
My producer, Don McGuire, said, you asked for a microphone? We'll give it to you. All right. Morton's pass is complete. First down. Right at the 20-yard line, he goes to Ron Egloff. Morton was decked.
Matt Millen he was in there, but he really stood his ground back there and fired that ball. That was an excellent throw. There's been 3 or 4 passes that Morton has thrown today that were not good passes, but that was an excellent throw.
Paul Howard shaken up on the play. We have an injury timeout, and that means that Howard will come out of the ball game. Otherwise, they would cost him an official timeout. So we'll go away for a moment. The Broncos have the lead, and they have the football.
We're Exxon. We're Bob Vesper, who helped find oil 40 miles off the Louisiana coast. We're Jerome Degree, who's producing the oil from that find. We're Tom Witt, who helps move the oil ashore. We're Jan Warman, who refines it into gasoline. We're Bob Danaher, who sees that the gasoline gets to you. We're more than 100,000 people working on energy. We're Exxon.
Just imagine flying to Europe free. Just for flying TWA in the U.S. It's TWA's frequent flight bonus. Fly just 60,000 miles during the next 15 months and get 2 tickets to Europe free. Other bonuses start at just 10,000 miles. TWA, the only airline that offers 2 free tickets to Europe.
You're gonna like us, TWA.
This is Charlie Jones, Lynn Dawson. Sunny afternoon in Oakland. 1:08 is the time remaining in the third quarter. Denver leading the Raiders 10-0. So Oakland now only a minute and 8 seconds away from going 7 quarters without putting a point on the scoreboard.
For the Denver Broncos, Paul Howard went off the field.
Glenn Hyde replaces him.
Morton is 9 for 14 for 117 yards so far in this ball game.
It's a first down. Egloff is a man in motion both directions. And Peros, the remaining back, carries, and he breaks it. He'll score. Rick Peros. That is his first touchdown in the National Football League.
They had Egloff running back and forth. It looked like they didn't know what was going on out there, and it must have confused the Oakland Raiders, because when Peros broke through that line of scrimmage, it was a straight shot to the goal line. Good blocking by that offensive line, and particularly the middle of that line. Number 64 is Bill Bryan. Goes off his man and makes a good block on 55, Matt Millen. Arms are flying out there trying to get a hold of Peros, but it's not going to stop him. He's going to get into the end zone. 44, Burgess Owens had a shot at him.
Steinfort has the extra point, and the Broncos have the lead. It is now a 17-0 ball game with 37 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
It's time to bring some sanity and reason to new car prices. For 1982, Chrysler Corporation is offering some of its most popular front-wheel drive, high-mileage cars at 1981 prices. For 82, Chrysler introduces the lowest priced 6-passenger front-wheel drive cars, America's lowest priced 5-passenger front-wheel drive cars, and the lowest priced full-size pickup. For 82 cars at 81 prices, come to Dodge or Chrysler Plymouth.
Victoria, darling, my heart.
Stop, camera. Wash the suit.
Wash the suit?
It's the Hager washable suit in Visa fabrics, made a new way to be machine washed and dried.
And action.
Victoria, my...
Cut. I don't believe it.
The Hager washable suit is guaranteed to keep its great looks and fit for its normal life or your money back. The Hager washable suit. Guaranteed wash after wash after wash.
Red Steinfort will be kicking off to either Malcolm Barnwell or Chester Willis. As Rick Paris, a number 4 draft choice a year ago for the Broncos, but out with a knee injury, scoring his first touchdown in the National Football League. Taken at the 2-yard line by Willis to the 10, 15, 20, 25-yard line. She'll have 23 yards, and the return is Jim Ryan makes the tackle. And we now have 29 seconds left to go in the third. Now we'll go back to that touchdown, and what's the reaction of Rick Parris as he has his first 6 points?
His first 6 points in the NFL. He's going to remember that, I'm sure. Good blocking by the offensive line. There it is, 64. Billy Bryan we were talking about. Now you're going to see number 24 Harrells into the end zone for his very first NFL touchdown. Do you think he's excited?
What's this one? All right. You know. Bucket to throw. Knocked away. Almost intercepted. Steve Foley was really the open receiver. Branch was the intended receiver. It'll be second down and 10.
Steve Foley said that should have been number 4 because I think he thought that Branch was going to jump up in the air, and Cliff didn't even go up in the air. He just ran right by the ball, and 43 is Foley. I think he thought he was going to have to make a tackle.
Foley with 3 interceptions in the game last week against San Diego. A Denver win here, their record would be 4-1. San Diego leading at last report, so we could have a 2-way tie. They're playing Seattle. Pass is complete to Kenny King, and he is jacked by Tom Jackson. Oh, did he take a blow?
He's coughed up the ball 3 times, but if he ever had a right to cough it up, I think it's after this one. Plunkett is looking to the right side. They're covered over there, so he comes right back to number 33, Kenny King. And watch the hit that he takes, but he holds on to the football.
As we come to the end of the third quarter, the score is Denver 17 and Oakland nothing. The Broncos leading the Oakland Raiders. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Monday, there's some new faces and sad farewells on the season premiere of Little House. Then it's a delightful comedy about a bachelor who suddenly has a family. Tony Randall and Private Benjamin's Lorna Patterson star in the love story of the season. Sydney Shore, a world premiere movie. Right after the season premiere of Little House, Monday on NBC.
First impressions of a city and the bank at the center of its growth. First of Denver, bringing a new spirit of service to your banking in the 80s. You can see it, feel it, and profit from it. New technology to save you time. New friends with new answers to your changing banking needs. First of Denver, putting our mark on the 80s.
Past 70 miles, all I've been thinking of is beer, beer, beer. What do I get? Light. You drink it.
I will. It's Coors Light.
All right.
The surprising taste of Coors Light comes from pure Rocky Mountain spring water and high country barley.
Hey.
And a way of brewing that squeezes a lot of the calories out.
It's good.
But leaves all the taste in.
I'm surprised.
Yeah,
Coors Light, the surprise is how good it tastes.
Magazine, 5:30 tonight, right after news from the News Center.
The Oakland Raiderettes, and they trail Denver along with their football team 17-0. Oakland has the ball, third down and 1.
She's not smiling. Of course, they haven't had a great deal to smile about. They haven't scored any points in seven quarters.
Plunkett drops it off. Jensen out of the backfield, picks up the first down, goes close to the 50-yard line. So now let's check the scoreboard, Lynn.
Okay.
Anytime. Go ahead.
Well, I know there's a couple of big upsets. All right, final. Houston defeating Cincinnati 14-10. Another final. Pittsburgh 20, New Orleans 6. Third quarter score, Los Angeles leading Cleveland 14-10. Third quarter score tied up. The Jets and Miami 14 apiece. Third quarter, San Diego leading Seattle 10-7.
If San Diego holds on to that margin and Denver does here, Denver and San Diego would be tied for the lead in the West with 4-1 record. Plunkett slips, drops it off to Kenny King. King goes down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 4, so it'll be second down and 6. Now look for an update. Let's go to New York and check in with Byron Day.
Thanks
Thanks, Charlie. Cross country in the Orange Bowl in Miami. Here's Richard Todd trying to throw deep in his own territory. Trying to hit Johnny Lamb Jones. It's picked off by Glenn Blackwood. That's his 4th interception of the year. He returns it 37 yards, and the Dolphins are in business. It's still tied at 14-all in the 3rd. Charlie?
All right, thanks for the update, and here we go with the Raiders. They face a 2nd and 6, both backs in the block. Plunkett is sacked. That is the 3rd sack for the Denver Broncos and the 2nd that Rulon Jones has in the ballgame. Boy, he reacts.
Well, you can see the emotion involved in this football game, and I think you can see the emotion involved with defensive people, particularly the defensive linemen. They really get fired up because their whole life is geared around tackling the quarterback. And most of the time it's frustrated because they actually don't get to the quarterback. He gets rid of the football or the defensive lineman is blocked. So when they do finally arrive, it's time to rejoice.
So it's 3rd and 17. Oakland's ball at their own 43.
Plunkett should have gotten rid of the football, incidentally, in that last play. Can't afford to take those losses.
Now Plunkett has all the time in the world, and it is tipped by 2 Denver Broncos.
Unfortunate for Oakland that one was not intercepted.
Morris Bradshaw was the closest receiver. Lewis Wright and Billy Thompson had the tip on the ball.
Number 20, Lewis Wright, a fine cornerback. 36 is Billy Thompson giving Brantz a shove. Now, you can see that what is happening. Lewis Wright is looking at the quarterback to see where the quarterback is going to take him, and the quarterback took him right over there to where Cliff Brantz was located.
Wade Manning set for the return of the kick of Ray Guy.
Now there's a Ray Guy kick.
That truly is a Ray Guy kick, and it barely goes into the end zone. A kick of 57 yards. So Denver will take over their own 20-yard line. 13-17 left to go in the ball game. Broncos lead.
I could ride to this music all day.
You and these Energizers just keep on going.
The Energizer is ever ready at its powerful best. Of all leading brands, nothing outlasts the Energizer. Nothing outsnaps it. Nothing outadds, outwalks, outplays, outtapes, outshines, outdoes it. Nothing.
The Energizer even outlasted Big Strong Charlie.
The Energizer. For life.
Long life.
Energize me.
Behind every Schlitz is a man who knows his beer.
Down here in Texas, people know a good beer, and many choose to taste of my Schlitz. Just one glass will tell a lot of beer drinkers what I've known all along. You just can't buy a better tasting beer than Schlitz.
What do I really think? I think Schlitz tastes better than Miller.
Schlitz tastes really smooth.
Mr. Sillinger, your Schlitz tastes good. It really does.
I'm glad you like it.
Behind every Schlitz is a man who knows his beer.
On and off the field, he was the only white at an all-black college.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have a good time.
Grambling's White Tiger, a world premiere Sunday on NBC.
This is Charlie Jones and Lynn Dawson. And Lynn, there is no question in my mind now the Denver Broncos are for real.
Yes, they are. That offensive line is doing a fine job of moving them out, and they're running against the Oakland Raiders, and Oakland has been doing a good job defensively against the run. Now, what's the problem with Oakland? They can't move the football. They can't score points. Number 6, Mark Wilson is loosening up on the sidelines. There's a good possibility he'll go into the game.
Denver from their own 20-yard line with a cut to a margin. Dave Preston gets the call. And now here is the score for you.
San Diego extending their lead. It's now 17-7 in the 3rd quarter going against Seattle.
And here it is, Denver 17 and Oakland nothing. And we will remind you again that Kansas City lost earlier. Their record is 3-2. And with San Diego and Denver leading at the end of the afternoon, it could be a two-way tie, each with 4-1 records. And Oakland lost, they would drop to 2-3, and Seattle would drop to 1-4. Barros goes to the 24. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Johnny Robinson was there for the Oakland Raiders. Always bothers me. Johnny Robinson, a rookie from Louisiana Tech, 6'2", 260 pounds, number 4 draft choice. When I say Johnny Robinson, I think of your former teammate.
You're thinking number 42,
That's
Johnny
right.
Robinson, who used to be roaming around in the safety position for Kansas City. A great all-pro safety. All right, Miami's now ahead of the Jets by the score of 21-14 in the third quarter. So Miami is undefeated.
They're for real, too. Good ball club. The defense is called the Killer Bees. Morton to throw. Is killing the clock as he runs. 2 pump fakes, and he throws. It's intercepted. He was trying to throw it away. Oh, the first bonehead play by the Broncos today. And this could give the Raiders the spark of life they need.
Oh, but was he inbounds or out of bounds? I think I saw the referee, Jim Tunney, say no. He caught it out of bounds.
Oh, they dodged a bullet.
Shotgun formation. Morton needs 6 yards. Well, he knows with his great speed that he's not going to outrun too many people. So he's pumping over there, trying to get somebody open, and he's just trying to throw the ball away. There it is, throwing it away. But now, here's something, though, Charlie. If that man had not, who is that? That did that. He left his feet. If he hadn't left his feet, he would have stayed in bounds.
We'll come back and give you the call on that again. Here's the catch. Ira Matthews, a high-hanging football. Fair catch call for at the 35-yard line. We've got a timeout. We'll come back and show you that interception that did not happen in just a moment. There it is. He's out of bounds.
Everywhere I go, people ask me, Arnie, is that old tractor you drove in the Pennzoil commercial still running? Still running? We use it here at Latrobe every day. And with Pennzoil protecting the engine, there are a lot more miles left in it. You know, this old tractor and I are a lot alike. We're both still using Pennzoil, and we're both still running.
Gas-saving Pennzoil. Quality in every extra mile.
In Japan, people demand a lot from a 35mm camera. That's why thousands of Japanese have gone beyond ordinary automatic 35s to the Pentax ME Super. The ME Super is really 2 cameras. On manual, you use it like a professional camera. But on automatic, it's as easy to use as any 35. The Pentax ME Super. One reason we've sold more 35 SLR cameras than any other company in Japan, or in the world.
Follow the bouncing ball next Sunday on NBC Sports.
Mark Wilson, the new quarterback for the Oakland Raiders. He has thrown one pass this year. He completed it to Malcolm Barnwell for 61 yards and a touchdown. So from now on, his career is going to be all downhill. He's a good one. And he opens up missing his receiver. Now let's go back to that almost interception. Now remember, the interceptor is governed by the same rules as the receiver, both feet in bounds.
And watch him leave his feet. See, he leaves his feet to catch it in his stomach. Now all he had to do is, because his feet were in bounds before he jumped up in the air. If he just reaches out with his hands to catch the football, he intercepts it, and it's good.
And it was number 42, Monty Jackson.
That's why coaches will tell receivers, unless you have to, don't leave your feet to catch the football.
Wilson's pass is complete. He goes to Kenny King. King goes to the 43. A gain of 8. It'll be third down and a pair. Now let's check out what else is going on. Let's go to New York and Byron Day.
Okay, Charlie, in Miami, the Dolphins have cashed in on that Blackwood interception. Andre Franklin going in on a disputed 1-yard touchdown run. His second disputed call of the day. Miami ahead 21-14 in the third. Charlie?
Thank you. The ball spotted really closer to the 44, so it'll be third down about 1.5 yards.
They're almost at the stage where if they don't make it here, they may have to go for it. Well,
pressure is on. Trying to throw it away. It's intercepted by Bob Switzer. Switzer has his first interception. That is the 5th turnover by the Oakland Raiders. The mistake of youth.
Well, Plunkett did it earlier. Now he's going to do it. He's scrambling because Gradishar is after him. Arnie Chavis, too. He's throwing the ball. and he just throws it right to number 51, Swenson. He was looking for his fullback, Jensen. But you don't take chances like that. I said they were in a position where they could use 2 downs to go for the first down because they're down 17-0, 10:46 remaining in this football game. It's difficult for a young quarterback to throw the football away, to throw it into the stands, because they always feel that they can complete it.
Denver at the 41-yard line of Oakland. Now they'll work a little on the clock, and Dave Preston gets the call. A couple of yards to the 39. Matuzak and Robinson were there.
5 turnovers to none. That's the ball game right now, right here. Very uncharacteristic for the Oakland Raiders.
2 interceptions by Swenson and Thompson. Fumble recoveries by Foley, Chavis, and Hyde.
Because, you know, Denver's offense really has not been devastating. They have been moving the ball.
Boy, their defense has been devastating. Double reverse to Watson. The speedster just barely gets around the corner as maybe a yard and a flag is down. Burgess Owens was there for Oakland. Play took way too long to develop.
It sure did, but that's the area to do it. Around the 35 to 40-yard line, so that even if you do lose some yards, and that's the type of play that it may go and bust and be a big play, or maybe nothing. And here it is, taking a chance, a great penetration by the Oakland defense.
Ted Hendricks
made him go way deeper than he wanted to. Going to come back, and it's going to be
illegal use of the hands in the back. Number 64, 10 yards, still second down.
It's on the center, Billy Bryant.
All the nice things we were saying about Billy Bryant, too. Well, he's just trying to protect one of his teammates.
You'd rather have that kind of protection of the 2 choices. Down goes over. It'll be second and 18.
Have that rather than come visit you, you know, if you're recuperating someplace in the hospital.
17-0. Denver has the lead. Tony Reed. Reed hasn't played much in the second half, so he bit fresh, picks up 8 yards to the 42. It'll be third down and around 10. Lester Hayes was there for the defense.
I believe Tony Reed had a few injury problems, his shoulder, I believe, coming into the ball game. You can see him here that looking for some running room, and does find some running room. That offensive line, once again, of the Denver Broncos, doing a good job.
Howard Long was at the bottom of the stack for the Oakland Raiders. They'll mark it third down and 11.
Well, they're going to have to call timeout because they're hanging around out there too long. They could have never gotten the playoffs.
But you notice that they let the 30-second clock run down to 2 seconds before they took it. We've got a timeout. The Broncos have the ball, and we'll be back.
Why is our copier smarter than theirs? Compare the Savin 883 on my left with the Xerox 4000 on my right. You'll find that only one has a microprocessor and an electronic brain that can transform an unclear original into a clear copy. Only one has a fully automatic document feed, and only one has an energy-saving automatic shutoff. On all these points, one copier outsmarts the other. The Savin.
Can an American driving machine outdistance every Datsun on the highway? If we put a gallon of gas in every Datsun and a gallon in the 1982 Dodge Omni Miser, here's what would happen. One by one, every Datsun would run out. But Omni Miser would keep driving, on and on, because Omni Miser has the highest highway mileage of any 5-passenger American car, and the lowest price. And at $54.99, the 82 Dodge Omni Miser doesn't cost $1 more this year than it cost at the end of last year.
Tuesday night, playoff fever hits the National League as the Dodgers meet the Houston Astros in the Division Series. The best-of-5 battle for the National League West crown begins at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on NBC, the home of great baseball. Offensive plays thus far, the Broncos have run 50, and The Oakland Raiders 41. So from that standpoint, that may be the closest statistic in the whole ballgame. Third and 11. Morton is sacked. That is the 5th sack for the Oakland Raiders.
They were coming. Those big defensive linemen were digging in, and they were flying off the ball that time, and Morton knew it. He didn't even look down. He didn't even look downfield at anybody, I don't believe, because he knew that he was going to have to eat that football. And what he didn't want to do is give it back to the Oakland Raiders. Number 32 is Tony Reed running a pattern, coming across, working on the linebacker. But Morton did not have a chance.
So Luke Prestridge will be kicking. Ira Matthews at his own 11-yard line. High, lazy floater.
Good kick.
And will be down at the 11-yard line by Dennis Smith. Earlier in the day, you saw a great feature on a little-known episode in the history of Grambling football on NFL 81. Tonight on NBC, a dramatization of that story, Grambling's White Tiger, a world premiere movie. Bruce Jenner is starring as the first white player for Eddie Robinson's Tigers. LeVar Burton is Charlie Smith, his best friend, now the Eagles. That's tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Time on NBC. And the reviews on that have been outstanding. That is really a good story, an excellent movie. And I'm looking forward to watching that little jewel.
Grambling College. Yeah. I remember Tank Younger was the first man to come out of there and play pro football.
That's right. That's tonight on NBC. Kenny King.
Hand off to Kenny King.
From the 11 to the 15, a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Bob Swinson makes the tackle. Bruce Jenner is also the co-producer on that.
He is.
The Renaissance man strikes again.
He was also a football player in college.
That's right.
First 2 years. Yeah.
The sports quiz is, what was the name of the college that he played football?
And that was up in Iowa someplace. Graceland.
Graceland. Good.
Hey.
Hey. You got me out of that one.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you. 2nd and 6. Mark Wilson, the quarterback. Sideline pass is no good. Bradshaw had it, came down out of bounds. So it'll be 3rd down and 6 at the 15.
All right, Los Angeles leading the Cleveland Browns 21-10. That's now in the 4th quarter.
Ooh. I'm surprised. I thought it would be closer, and I thought Cleveland might pull it off.
It looked like Cleveland was starting to get things together, but Los Angeles is such a team. They're up and down. You don't know what's going to happen.
That's a hard team to play against, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And a hard team to prepare for.
They have talent, a lot of talent.
And a lot of turmoil. They always have turmoil with the Rams.
You better do something.
Stands in. Throws, and it's almost intercepted, and then no. Bradshaw thought that he caught it, but apparently trapped it. Lewis Wright made a dive for the interception, and he couldn't pull it off. It'll be 4th down and 6.
Well, he was rather nervous. Number 81 is Bradshaw. He can see that his quarterback's in trouble. He's looking around to see where he can go. Lewis Wright almost came up with it, but he didn't, nor did Bradshaw.
So Ray Guy will be kicking. Now with 7:48 left to go in the ballgame. Denver out in front 17-0.
Well, an end over.
Boy, Guy not having a good day. Mannings fumbles the ball. Broncos recover it. Oh, when it is going your way, it continues.
It sure is. You know, that was what we would think a terrible punt for Ray Guy, but it went 40 yards.
Larry Canada recovered the fumble.
See right now that he's slipping. The turf is apparently loose out there, but first he's looking downfield, and he shouldn't do that. He's looking to see who's coming. First things first, get a hold of the football and secure that before you worry about getting up and running.
Well, Ray Guy is such a great kicker. He's had 3 punts of 60 yards or more this year. The average coming in to the game was almost 51 yards.
I know, so when he kicks a normal kick, we say, oh, what a terrible kick.
That's right. You're right. Good point. All right, here's Denver from their own 46-yard line. Dave Preston gets the call. Preston's had quite a workout. Next Sunday, join Host Brian Gumble for NFL 81. All the highlight scores and late breaking news from all the games. Regional NFL action next week featuring 2 long-term rivalries as the Browns meet the Steelers and the Raiders meet the Chiefs in Kansas City. So check your local listings for the game and time in your area. That's next Sunday on NFL 81.
7 minutes remaining in this football game for Denver. If they can get a couple of first downs, they can practically lock it up. Oakland knows that. I expect them to be sending their linebackers.
2nd and 9. Tony Reed. Reed to the 49-yard line of Oakland. He has 4. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Mac Millen, the linebacker, makes the tackle.
And they were bringing their linebackers on that last play.
Ted Reinholz has been our statistician today. Dan Brody and Len Shapiro are 2 spotters.
3rd and 5.
3rd down and 5. Clock continues on its inexorable march. 6 minutes and 10 seconds left to play. Morton, all the time in the world. And then he is sacked. That is the 6th sack for the Oakland Raiders. There's a flag down. But, boy, that was not the fault of the offensive line of the Broncos.
No, he was pumping back there. Looked like he was, you know, the old wells, you're pumping water to get some water out. He had that much time.
Personal foul on the Broncos.
That was a big 3rd down, Charlie, because I think had Denver gotten the first down with a 17-0 lead and 6 minutes to go in this football game, it would have been all over.
Now that was 3rd and 5. I'm surprised that they take the penalty.
Personal foul. Late hit number 3 after the play was over. It's 4th down.
Late hit on Kelvin Clark. It was a dead ball foul. It was over. That's the reason they accepted.
73. It didn't look that flagrant to me.
So it will be 4th down and 21.
When you consider guys were flailing at one another out there earlier in the ball game. That was very mild.
Luke Prestridge will be kicking to Ira Matthews.
Oakland needs a big break here. They got to score in a hurry.
Punting exhibition has not been that good. Matthews fumbles it. 2nd time in the ball game that he has done that. Turnover number 6 as the Broncos have the football. Steve Busick recovers the fumble. He's the rookie from USC. 6 turnovers.
That tells the story, Charlie.
Oh, yes.
That they're coughing up that football. 6 times they've given it back to Denver. Their defense has had to be on the field twice as much as the offense has been out there.
And part of that fault is the offense. They haven't generated anything.
It's not the Oakland teams that I'm accustomed to seeing.
Particularly when you were playing them every year for the championship. It seems.
That's right. You know, Oakland is. They sacked Morton 6 times. The defense for the Oakland Raiders.
37-yard line, 1st down. Oakland territory. Morton goes for 6. It won't get there to Watson.
Oh,
could have been intercepted. Dwayne Osteen knocked it away more than going for the interception. Was that the impression you had?
He may not have really had his eye. I could see the ball because it was up high, but Morton was just letting it go. 81 is Watson. He's going up top. You see, there's 35 Osteen. He looks like he has his eye on the ball, and the ball is way to the inside.
No, he was going for it. He didn't quite get there. If you notice the shadows right there, that means the receiver and the defender, when they look back, they're looking directly into the sun.
Morton incidentally got hit by Matt Millen just as he released the ball, so I'm sure that took something off of his throw.
2nd and 10. Egloff in motion. Fumble in the backfield. Barrows diving for it.
Maybe better check that football, Charlie. It's bouncing around out there.
Or bring back the Stickum rule. One or the other.
He really never got control of that ball. It hit him in the stomach with the ball, went right through his stomach and to the ground.
Loss of a yard, 3rd and 11.
But here it is, fortune for Denver. They've coughed up the ball a couple of times, but it bounced right back to them. For Oakland, 6 turnovers in the ballgame.
38-yard line, 3rd down and 11. 5:08 time remaining. Morton to throw. That is the 7th sack.
That's Howie Long. That's the sack.
Charlie, give
Howard Long got it, all right?
Credit really to the defensive backs of the Oakland Raiders, because Morton did have time to at least get rid of the football. He was looking for Riley Odoms downfield, but he was well covered. And I looked at the receivers. Here's Watson here with Lester Hayes. Now, excellent coverage by Lester Hayes. Can't throw the ball to Watson because there's a good chance it could have been intercepted.
The boos are for Ira Matthews, number 43, all alone at the 10-yard line. Oh, Slippery Fingers has had problems today.
I would think that they would try to block the punt. They've got to try to do something like that. They've got 10 men on the line of scrimmage.
Prester's kicking. Matthews holds on to the ball. That's the name of that game. 23-yard line. We'll take a timeout as Jim Ryan had the coverage for the Denver Broncos. 17-0. Denver out in front.
Behind every Schlitz is a man who knows his beer.
Schlitz is downright good. I think it's even better than Miller.
I'm from Germany. I do think I know a bit about beer, and this is really good beer.
Hey, I'm loyal to my bud, but I think Schlitz beat it out.
I like the taste of Schlitz. It's as simple as that.
In 40 years as a master brewer, this Schlitz is my smoothest. Have you tasted my Schlitz?
Behind every Schlitz is a man who knows his beer.
You've read about it, you've heard about it. But until now, you've never had a better chance to own it. It's the RCA video disc player. The remarkable machine that plays records of movies, concerts, and more on your TV. And to help you be one of the first to own one, RCA is offering a $50 introductory bonus. Buy one now and you'll get $50 direct from RCA. What's more, a special 10-day money-back offer is available at selected RCA dealers. But hurry, you may never have a better chance.
This is the total offense. Broncos 200 yards, Raiders 168, and Oakland last week had only 131 yards.
I was at that ball game. They had 35 yards passing against Detroit.
Ooh. Oakland with the ball at their own 23-yard line. Mark Wilson, the quarterback. He's got time to throw. So credit the defensive coverage of the Denver Broncos. Swenson and Gradishar were there.
Like a glove, they have him covered out there. He had all the time in the world to throw the football, but there was no one open.
Next Saturday, NBC Sports World returns for the fall season. October will be a great month on Sports World. The big feature, the Las Vegas Grand Prix live. And great boxing action. So tune in NBC next Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time for the return of Sports World. The return of Sports World.
Looking vicious. The return of the Oakland Raiders.
Second and 10. They've been away for 2 games.
Looky here.
Incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Trying to drill it between 2 linebackers to get it to his fullback. They're fortunate that one wasn't intercepted. They had Bob Swenson, 51, Randy Gradishaw, 53, standing out there, and he tried to force it between those 2 linebackers to get to his fullback.
Now, the Raiders were shut out last week, as you know. The Broncos have shut them out so far, 17-0. You have to go back to 1961. The Oakland Raiders have suffered back-to-back shutouts. And remember 1961?
No.
1961, they were playing at Frank Hugh Field in Candlestick. They get a group together in the parking lot. That was a terrible ball. But then this is the defending world champions. Going deep, Kenny King, and he drops it. Oh, he should have had it.
Does that tell you the way things are going for the Oakland Raiders?
Jackson had the coverage, but King had a step on him.
Finally got somebody open and got him the football. He can't hang on to it. It's very frustrating.
And it's been a frustrating day for Ray Gott.
You can see right there, Kenny King has fumbled the ball 3 times, and he recovered 1 of those 3. But Oakland has 7 fumbles. They've lost 4 of them. They've had 2 interceptions. No turnovers by Denver. They did fumble twice, but they recovered their own fumbles. No interceptions.
Did you notice Ray Guy's average? And he's had a terrible day. But that's another bad punt for a Ray Guy. Manning feels it, sidesteps one, and the third man gets it. 30-yard line.
I see a yellow flag down on the field.
Back at the left 26-yard line.
50-yard call.
But you're right. You mentioned that earlier. Here's the call.
And ineligible man downfield on the kick.
You expect every Ray Guy kick to be 60 to 70 yards because he's capable of that. He's just unbelievable.
Well, he really is kind of in a class by himself.
Yes. And
when he's
as
meeting
Bob Phillips says, it doesn't take long to call the roll in that class.
Ineligible man, number 27.
Now, you see the respect that Denver has for Ray Guy. They declined that penalty. They don't want him to kick over again.
So we'll take it on the 30. That's fine by us. 3:54 is the time remaining. And Denver has the football. The Broncos' record would be 4-1. We'll get a check on that San Diego score. And they were leading it last time. They still are out in front, so that means we're looking at a two-way tie in the West between Denver and San Diego with identical 4-1 record.
Got a new quarterback in the ballgame.
Steve DeBerg, now the quarterback for the Broncos. And he's had an excellent year. Here's a quick 5 yards. Dave Preston picks it up. He came in against San Diego. There were some mistakes. It was not his fault. Denver was leading 35-0, and there were several writers that said that Morton had been pulled out too soon. But when you're out in front 35-0, you want to get your number one quarterback out of there in case he might be hurt.
If that number one quarterback has taken as many hits that Morton has taken over 17 years.
Now there's Craig. Boy, what a year he has been having.
He's really a great person, too.
Isn't he a nice man?
Yeah, he really
is. And has really learned to touch.
I saw him yesterday. I said, well, you're the hero. And he says, yes, for this week.
Oh, he's at the highs and the lows, isn't he?
Look at that hole.
Oh, Rick Parris. Big first down.
That's Rick Parris.
47-yard line. He picks up 12 yards on the play.
Wow.
Fourth quarter, San Diego leading Seattle 17-7.
2:50 and counting down in this football game. It's all over, I would have to assume.
Oh, yes.
For the Oakland Raiders. Now they're just going to keep that football on the ground. They'll run one more play before the 2-minute warning. And it really doesn't make any sense for Oakland to call timeout. They're 17 points down.
Well, this is one, and they haven't generated any offense. This is one you want to get in the locker room and forget as far as the Raiders are concerned. And you want to get on the plane to Denver and celebrate for the Broncos. Parris, 49-yard line. It'll be second down and around 7 as Otis McKinney makes the tackle. We're now moving on the 2-minute mark. So Steve DeBerg, who completed 4 of 6 passes against San Diego, 8 of 11 on the year, goes to the sideline for the conference. And the 2-minute warning. At the 2-minute warning, during many NFL games this fall, we're going to be treated to some of the most exciting finales from NFL history. They're called fantastic finishes. So right now, let's take a look at one of them.
America's favorite recyclable beverage container. The stackable, lightweight, quick chilling, unbreakable, all aluminum can. Aluminum preserves the flavor and protects the taste. Aluminum. Its recyclability assures many, many happy returns. It's America's favorite.
We can't wait for tomorrow.
This is Charlie Jones, Lynn Dawson. 2 minutes left to go in a very fast-moving ball game here at Oakland, Alameda County.
A very subdued crowd here. Oakland, California. They have not had much to cheer about.
A lot of empty seats are still disguised as fans. They've headed for the parking lot in an early tailgate party. Second down and 7. San Diego's margin over Seattle now has been cut to 17-10. We have that report just in. Preston gets the call. Randy McClanahan makes the tackle. They'll mark it at the 50, a gain of a yard. They're down at 6.
Oakland calling a timeout. Here it is. 17-10. 17-0 here in Oakland. It's been embarrassing for a team that has had 16 consecutive winning seasons like the Oakland Raiders to be shut out 2 weeks in a row. They're a proud football team.
Yes, they are.
But they've been playing very poorly.
Look at this. Jets in Miami 21-21.
Fourth quarter.
You mentioned earlier that the Jets always play well at Miami.
Yes, they have. I think they've won the last 5 times they've played down there.
And I think every one has been an upset. We've had a couple of those, late in the season, those Saturday games, and they seem to come to life. Maybe they should put palm trees at Shea Stadium.
With the way the wind whips around Shea, they wouldn't stay very long.
That's true. That is true. Third down.
About 3rd and 6.
I'm sure all they're saying in that Denver huddle, make sure you hold on to the football.
Preston and Perros in the backfield. Play pass. All alone is Rick Perros. He looked at the sideline, and rather than going out of bounds, came back in to keep the clock moving. Good play. Burgess Owens with a tackle.
They had a tight end in motion. Play action fake, and the tight end was blocking wide open in the flat. There isn't anybody around there. There's supposed to be a linebacker someplace around there. But the linebacker didn't. You're going to see what Charlie's talking about right now. He's cutting back to the inside to make sure he doesn't get out of bounds and stop the clock. The clock is going 1:20 and counting down. This game is over.
A pickup of 24 yards. Raiders still with 2 timeouts. They figured the clock could help them or maybe save them from another score and even more embarrassment. Preston. Preston to the 21. Gain of 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Now let's go to Byron Day in New York City, and we'll have an update on the action in the NFL.
Okay, Charlie, in a game that's far from over, Richard Todd has just thrown a 15-yard scoring pass to Wesley Walker with an assist from 2 Miami Dolphins. It's 21-all in the 4th quarter. Charlie?
Thank you, Byron. That's an update of what we were talking about. 55 seconds here. Oakland takes their 2nd timeout. They have 1 remaining.
They don't, as I said before, they don't like the thought of playing 2 football games and not putting a single point on the board. They'll be grabbing for the football. That's all they can do now. And the Raider defense has not played that poorly. No. They have 7 sacks. They've held Denver's offense to, around 225, 230 yards total offense. Well, that's not bad. That's a good outing for a defense. But it's... boy, they cannot generate any offense. They really haven't most of the year. The first game that you and I did in Denver between the Broncos and Oakland was 9-7. Right. Denver winning that one. Last week, they didn't score any points against Detroit. They did defeat Minnesota and Seattle, but they are not considered the defensive teams that a Denver is or a Detroit. The Minnesota would be their best outing, I would think. Next week, New England against the Jets, Cleveland and Pittsburgh, Oakland and Kansas City, Cincinnati and Baltimore, Seattle and Houston. Those are the games on NBC. 2nd down and 6. And Perros, just holding onto the football with both hands. Then he went bouncing along the ground. He looks like a mole out there. He's not on the ground crawling around. 43-42 counting down. There is the story. Unless something miraculous happens, the Oakland Raiders will be shut out 2 weeks in a row. And it goes back to what you say, 1961. 1961. 20 years ago. 20 years ago. Larry Canada is in the backfield. The Broncos must get off one more play. 6 seconds of the 30-second clock. And they boy, talk about using the 30-second clock. There was 1 second remaining on the clock at the snap. Canada holds on to the football, and time runs out. So that is it. The Denver Broncos shut out the Oakland Raiders 17-0, and Oakland now has gone 8 quarters, 4 in each of the last 2 ball games without putting a point on the board. As you look at Tom Flores, the head coach, he and Danny Reeves shaking hands. For Tom Flores, they've got a lot of work to do. This Oakland Raider football team
live with. Handicap.